to have you join us on this week's edition of Arthouse. I'm Melinda Akinlami. Coming up today, we have some solo exhibitions from a scholar and multi-talented artist. To another creative who is asking a question with his solo show in Lagos. Then we head to Port Harcourt, the River State capital, for a group exhibition. More when Arthouse returns in a moment. Do stay with us.
Art does not need anybody to exist.
Let's begin with Resounding Echoes, a solo exhibition of the recent works of art created by Dr. Kunle Adeyemi at the National Museum in Lagos.
Yet another solo exhibition by multi-talented artist and scholar Kunle Adeyemi at National Museum in Lagos.
We are marrying customs tradition from the past with what is obtainable in the present and projecting the vision into the future. That's why we have the memories, retrospect, and vision put together in art. It's used a lot of materials here to work. It's used oil on canvas, it's used acrylic on canvas, and it's also used the metal foil, which is a very unique material used in the work of art. In fact, I make bold to speak that I think there are about 3 of them in this nation at the moment that work with the metal foil. That's the one you find with the shiny rose gold, yellow gold, and so on the floor.
Resounding Echoes, Memories, Retrospect and Vision is as latest as this committed artist encourages the younger ones to keep pushing and creating new pieces.
Some of the works that you see here, there are some works that took me 3 years. There are some that took 2 years to complete. There are some that took 3, 4, 5 months. But I was resilient, and I was actually doing it on my own accord. I don't get hurried, and I don't do things hush-hush. So some of the things that you are seeing here now are actually part of those deep nights, those days when I give myself into it. And so the Resounding Echo, whichever way you look at it, actually the conglomeration of all this put together.
It is possible for you to use your creative gifts to educate the people. It is possible for you to use it as a kind of a social commentary. Like when he was talking about the Japa syndrome, he said he encourages young people to Japa. But when you Japa, go out there, go learn and come back. Don't just go without a purpose. So it's speaking more like an artistic prophet. And that says a lot to me and of course to so many other people who are here this afternoon.
This exhibition is coming weeks after his recent retirement from Yabatech after many years of nurturing creatives in the classroom.
I remember I was in my college where I just retired. I was in administration. I was in lecturing, and at the point in time, I moved into administration. I became the head of department, became the dean of school, and became the director of internal quality assurance. So that gap, in administration is thick. So when you want to do it, you do it well. Now, each time when I'm there, when I was there, I put my thoughts, together, and I keep them. So these resonates some of the things that I've been doing for the past 6-7 years, while I was in the other office.
With what we have displayed here, actually testify to the fact that these are echoes of what Dr. Kunle Adeyemi, had been doing while in service. And so we can actually say this more or less like a post-service exhibition. And with that, I want to believe that we are here witnessing the call. I mean, Dr. Kunle Adeyemi, is constantly evolving different techniques. And with what we're seeing here, this is more or less like an exhibition that a combination of all what he's been doing. And it's also, speaks to the fact that he's using this to announce his arrival into the full-time studio practice, and which is quite commendable.
These pieces are a product of intensive research.
This is a product of research. And when you talk about research, you must be deep in your research. And so I want my younger colleagues to begin to learn how to be patient, how to work hard, how to really, really know what they're doing. They should know their onions and don't be too much in a hurry to hit the limelight. So for some of us who God has given the opportunity to hit limelight now, it's a product of what we have actually been doing in the past, and we have been doing it well. So integrity, honesty, sincerity, determination, and some of these other factors, will make up to give you that stardom that you are looking at, that every one of us is looking at.
I've seen his works on several occasions, and I've also visited his gallery. I'm highly impressed with the way he handles his own job. I have a philosophy when it comes to art. I always believe art is beyond drawing and painting, which is what he has exhibited here. And if you look at it very carefully and thoroughly, you find that it's somebody who takes time. He thinks more about the subject matter. It's when the subject matter is clear to him that he now comes out to put it on the board or on the canvas, as the case may be. Hence, that's what, and he has the same peculiar style, which it can easily be identified that yes, this is Adeyemi's work.
We want people to take away memories, retrospects, and have a vision for the future. When you go through every piece of art displayed here, you will find that it sparks up a thought pattern in you, a creative thought pattern. So we want everyone leaving this place with something new in the creatives.
Retired but not tired, as Dr. Adeyemi intends to continue with an intensive research and studio practice now that he has more time on his hands.
To another solo exhibition, and this one is titled "What is Man?" at the Art Pantheon Gallery in Lagos.
What is man? A solo exhibition by Tosi Torumade attracts a full house at the Art Pantheon Gallery in Lagos.
What is man is a burning question that has been on my mind in the last maybe 1.5 years. I was trying to create a body of work that would not only speak to people who are art lovers, but something that will impact the general public. Even if you are not an art lover, I would want to create something that would speak to your consciousness and, put you in check. So this is why I came up with this topic. And it speaks to the diverse subject of humanity and in the masculine gender.
The artist is not alone. And it's a question that's on a lot of minds, as the founder of the gallery, Nana Asuma, can connect to this show. This squeeze is something that has been running through her head for a while now.
Someone was telling me, you've gone above and beyond on this show. You've done some things that you wouldn't do. And I said, yes, because this resonates, this talks to me. I have friends who have dropped dead, just due to pressures, to so many things that they cannot talk about. I have people, younger men, kids who have been abused, who are constantly abused, and nobody talks about it. But we talk about the women, we talk about the girl child, we talk about abuse on the part of the women, but nobody talks about the men abuse. Nobody talks about their mental health. Nobody talks about the fact that there is so much pressure on them. So this exhibition actually bears it all for me, and I am 101% satisfied.
The audience can also identify with this visual dialogue too.
It's not just visually pleasing, it's the fact that it serves as an advocacy for men's mental health, especially because that's a subject that we don't really talk about. We expect men to be strong, not cry and all of that, but these works show that in all of this, that men also have a frail inner being. So it's just very beautiful to see.
I'm short of words. It doesn't happen all the time. But when it happens, the way we think it should be, we know. What I'm seeing here, I'm not just knowing him. I've known Toromade for a long time, and he has never disappointed for once. What I'm seeing here tonight, I think I've been blown up. I like what I'm seeing. I congratulate him. The subject matter, the rendition, the storyline, the strength. I'm just proud of my brother this time around.
Tosin's work is pretty impactful. It's kind of dark, the theme about death. It's quite kind of dark, but generally I think it's something that makes you think. That's what I like about it. It's kind of reflective. It puts me in a reflective mood, basically.
Tosin's work, it's very thoughtful. It gives you something to think about. It's like a sober reflection. And then it reminds you to live life. You have to live life because we are going towards one journey. Rich, poor, influential. So it's more like live life because all of us are going to end somewhere. And what do you want to be remembered for? What are you leaving behind? Because at the end of the day, that's what's important. Whatever riches we make, it's going to be shared at the end of the day. But what you're being remembered for is what stays. That's what makes you, what's the word, a legend, so to say. So I think that's what the art here did for me today. And my favorite is the one that had the clock on it. I think 10 before midnight. That is beautiful.
So the artist explains more about the works of art that explore this subject.
This installation is titled, How Do You Want to Be Remembered? And it's really simple. The titles I have used for these exhibitions are really simple, and it's not different from what I have for How Do You Want to Be Remembered? How do you want to be remembered is a question that I'm asking everybody after your life, after you've hustled for money, hustled for fuel, or you've trained your kids. On your tombstone, do you want people to say good things about you or bad things about you? Now, if people would say good things about you, it will mean that you've done something. You've obeyed the traffic laws. You've treated somebody nicely. You've not molested anybody. You've acted right. And I feel that if we can all act right, the world can be a better place, which is why I have shown images of skulls that are in gold and then the flowers that are in gold as well, to say, on your graveyard, let it be that you're a man that produced results, your ideas were rich and all of that. When I was creating this piece, the pieces actually, I wanted to create artworks that would take people back to school. For example, I used very interesting academic colors, more like the triad tones, analogous colors, complementary colors. I was very, very intentional about the planning of this show. You'd find out that even the images that I use are very, very similar. When you see this and you see the other ones, you can tell. You would think it's the same person. So I wanted to connect the pieces together. And then you find out they're not just colors, they are with very strong brush strokes. It's a testament to my longevity in creating artworks here.
With this interesting outing for his second solo exhibition, the Arts Society will be watching to see what more this artist has up his sleeves.
Interesting images there. We're taking a moment now. Arthouse returns with more. Do stay with us.
And these are the works of art you sent in recently. Let's begin with this work done by Job Ukwa. It's titled Mindframe. It's an African traditional woven craft. Then the Masquerade Festival is a digital painting by Femi Adedeji. This work is called Big Wiz, the Pharaoh of Afrobeat. It's a mixed media on canvas piece. Then Beacon is a work by Paul Francesca, done with mixed media. Should I come out? That's what Arad J. Art is asking with his pencil drawing on paper. Deep Thoughts is a paper collage art by Harry Ome. Then Joe Smith Art has Rhino's pastel painting, which he has finally completed, and he calls it On the Move from the Wildlife series. Then this painter from India has sent in this work of art done with oil on canvas called Rose. We wrap things up with Salifo's art titled Mother and Child. It's a mixed media painting. And that concludes the works of art you sent in recently. We really appreciate you for sending them in and encourage you. Keep them coming.
Thank you for staying with us. A Thin Line is a group exhibition at the De La Roque Gallery in Port Harcourt, the River State capital.
A Thin Line group exhibition at De La Roque Gallery in Port Harcourt, River State.
Many of their works, if you look, the color spectrum is similar, the themes that they have explored is similar, the subjects that they have used, the discussions, the interrogations of society that they have also engaged in are also very similar. And so all of these have come together and inspired us to title this exhibition A Thin Line. Thin line between the interrogations and the experiments of the artists, also thin line between how they have used their individual works to interrogate several aspects of society. 2 artists in this exhibition are based in Abuja and 3 others are in Port Harcourt. But if you see all their works, it almost looks as though they were in a room together, sharing ideas and coming up with a body of work for this exhibition.
For the curator, Primrose Adekemi, the environment can be an inspiration in creating works of art, especially with the economic challenges in the country.
Currently, the art climate in Rivers State, I can't say that it's something that we are excited about. It was better, especially during the oil boom, during the times when we had a lot of expatriates and all, in Nigeria. But beyond that, I think that the appreciation of the art, because it's beyond patronage. Before you can even spend money to pick up an artwork, it has to, first of all, you have to love the art. The art has to resonate with you, it has to speak to you in some way, and then you might be inclined or inspired to exchange some hard currency, for it. In Rivers State, I think that more has to be done, especially with the younger people.
Some of the artists who have their works showcased at the exhibition express delight about their creations.
It's the passion, it's the love, it's the affection the feeling of trying to create something that is relevant, trying to create something that is part of history, that is part of culture, trying to create something that feels relevant in the society and trying to make an impact in the society. So that's what is driving me as an artist to keep on creating and to do what I do.
Excitement on one hand, but challenges on the other. Passion is what has been fueling them so far.
The theme of my work, the individual titles I give them, it's under a theme called blind spots. So that blind spot, it tries to portray the rate at which we've neglected the culture of reading, which have negatively affected our society in today's world. Because if you check it, most people today feed themselves on a negative news, or let me say the fake news. Take for example the painting I did, Beyond the Headlines. Many people, what they do is they just look at the headlines and they conclude. Probably there is a deeper truth inside the particular news or the particular story, but people now have this mental laziness, let me call it mental laziness, or this attitude not to go deep down to check what is happening, and it's been affecting our society.
I usually depict what we have in our environment and close to us. If you look closely at my work, like this one behind me, it's talking about lamentation. Lamentation is what we usually face in life. Sometimes we go through hard times, we try to talk about what is happening to us, but we can't really speak. Sometimes our body postures usually portray what we usually go through, because most people don't really know what you is going through or I am going through. So when I actually did this work, is when I was going through so many things in my life. So I'm trying to portray it in my canvas to tell people how I felt that moment. I'm trying to speak out for people to see, even though I don't want to going about telling people how I feel about this kind of situation.
These creatives are looking forward to displaying more pieces in the future.
We have more art stories for you. Just ensure you tune in next time.
On Arthouse next week, If Hives Could Dance in Colors, a solo exhibition by Kingsley Ayogu in Lagos. To another solo, Stone Speaks, an exhibition of sculptural pieces by Oladapo Afolayan at the National Museum, Lagos. We stay at the National Museum for Cutting Edge, an exhibition by Bolaji Ogunwo and Timi Kakanda. We encourage you to keep liking, sharing and viewing our page so more people can enjoy the ever-bubbly and ingenious art scene in the country.
Your Arthouse experience doesn't have to end when the show is not on television. Interact with us on our various social media platforms. See any edition of Arthouse on our website or YouTube page. Join our very interactive Facebook page by joining the group on Arthouse on Channels. We're everywhere.
That's the program today. Thank you so much for being a huge part of it, and I look forward to interacting with you on our various social media platforms. I'm Melinda Akinlami. Keep adding color to the world.